My phone rang before the chairs even hit the trunk. "Hi, this is Karen from Lakeside Cabins, calling to confirm the $1,084 balance for the Reynolds reunion booking. We've got your visa ending in 7314 on file. Check-in is next Friday at 4. My hand froze on a stack of blue folding chairs with cup holders. I was in the parking lot behind my apartment, planning snacks out loud like a weirdo in 90-degree heat. Pretzels, fruit, juice boxes, automatic. I swallowed. "I'm sorry, what booking?" "The Reynolds family reunion? Primary contact is Mario Reynolds." Paper shuffled on her end. "It was reserved 10 minutes ago. We're just confirming the balance will run to your card the morning of check-in." I leaned the chairs against my bumper. "How do you have my card?" "It's saved from last summer's booking under your name." "Right. Last June, I booked a cabin for 14 and then chased reimbursements for 6 weeks. My name is Camilla Reynolds. I'm 32, an office coordinator at a paediatric clinic in Cleveland, and I've been the family treasurer since I was old enough to balance a checking account. My brother Mario is 35 and allergic to logistics. My sister Chloe is 27 and hates conflict. And my mum, Livia, is 58 and assumes I can fix anything if I just make a spreadsheet." "Could you email me the confirmation?" I asked. "And the cancellation policy." "Already sent," she said. "And you have 24 hours from booking to cancel without penalty." "Thanks." I hung up and stared at the chairs. We tossed around the idea of a cousin's weekend at the lake since spring. Dates floated. I'd half assumed it would land as a Sunday cookout at the park if no one nailed it down. That's why I'd bought chairs for everyone, because I always do. Cups, coolers, napkins, toll transponder, streaming passwords, warehouse membership. Invisible scaffolding with my name on the receipts. My lock screen lit up with the email, reservation number, map directions, and a line in bold at the bottom, free cancellation within 24 hours. I opened the family chat I know, me, Mario, Chloe, Mom. "Who just booked a cabin on my card?" Read receipts popped for Mom and Chloe. No replies. I waited a minute that felt like 20. I typed again, "Hello?" Nothing. I called Mario first. It rang to voicemail. I tried Chloe. She picked up and didn't say hello. "Don't make this about you." "About me," I said. My card was used. In the background, I heard Melanie's voice, soft and sharp at the same time. "Just tell her we're driving. Don't engage." "Are you with Melanie?" I asked. Chloe sighed. "We're heading to Target. We're getting stuff for next weekend. It's not a big deal, Cam. It's a family thing, not your spreadsheet thing. So there's a cabin," I said, "and I wasn't told." "But my card. Mario said he had your card from last year," she cut in. "It was easiest." "Easiest for who?" Silence. I heard Melanie again, closer now. "Less drama without Camila." My name, like I wasn't on the line. My cheeks went hot. I swallowed everything I wanted to say because I could hear the automatic doors sliding open on their end, and the beep of a scanner, and I wasn't going to do this over a red cart. "I'm hanging up," I said, and did. The chairs slid around in my trunk like I'd accelerated, even though I was standing still. I took a breath, locked the car, and went upstairs to my one bedroom in Lakewood. Air conditioning, clean counters, the loopy plant my friend Alana gave me for my birthday. Normal things. I opened the email from the rental office on my laptop. The cabin photos were cute. A porch swing, a dock, the kind of fake rustic sign that says lake life. Under the photos, cancel within 24 hours of booking for a full refund to the original payment method. Booked at 2:08 p.m, the clock on my stove read 2:16. I put my phone on the counter and scrolled my contacts. I almost called Mom, then didn't. She'd smooth it over and ask me to please be reasonable and bring my label maker. I set a timer on my phone for 23 hours and 52 minutes. The little countdown blinked back at me. 23, pom, 52, and yow. I texted the chat again. "I need to understand why my card was used without telling me. Call me." Nothing. I set the chairs against my hallway wall, still wrapped in the store's plastic. The tag said, "Weight limit 250 lb" in cheerful font. For everyone. I looked at the timer. took a breath that made my chest hurt going in and out, and whispered to no one, "Okay then." I called the number in the email before I could overthink it. "Lakeside Cabins, this is Karen." "Hi, it's Camilla Reynolds. I'm the card holder ending in 7314 on the Reynolds booking." My voice sounded like I'd borrowed it. "I need to cancel within the 24-hour window." "Okay," she said, professional and calm. "Can I confirm your billing zip and the email on file?" I gave both. Keys clacked on her end. "Found it," she said. "Booked at 2008. Cancelling now will fully refund to the card ending in 7314. Do you want me to remove that card from your profile too?" "Yes, please." I pictured Mario shrugging in front of a desk clerk next Friday and felt my shoulders drop a millimetre. "Can you send me the cancellation confirmation?" "It's on the way." A pause, softer. "We get a lot of families. I recommend whoever's paying be the one making the arrangements, just so there's no confusion." "Noted," I said. "Thank you." The email hit before I ended the call. "Reservation cancelled. Refund processing in 5 to 7 business days. Card deleted from profile. No drama, just policy." I set the phone down, stared at the timer still counting down on my screen, 23.46 nights of, and then opened my bank app. I called the number on the back of the card and went through the tree, the security questions, the hold music. "How can I help you today?" a man asked. "My card information was used without my permission for a reservation," I said. "I already cancelled it, but I want to close this card and get a new number." "We can do that." He read back my recent transactions. The cabin charge wasn't there. "No pending charges from that merchant. I'll deactivate this card now and overnight a replacement. It'll arrive tomorrow or Friday. You'll need to update any recurring payments." "Good," I said. "That's the plan." After we hung up, I opened a blank note and wrote a list. Streaming, Warehouse Club, grocery delivery I shared with Mom for the free shipping, Easy Pass. I started with the easy ones, streaming. I logged in, changed the passwords, turned on two-factor and wiped the devices. I updated the payment to my checking for the one service I actually use and let the others lapse. If anyone texted me for a code this weekend, they'd meet a wall. Warehouse Club. I pulled up my account, removed the authorized users, and hit cancel at the renewal screen. A pop-up warned me about losing cash rewards. I snorted and clicked anyway. It sent me a prorated refund. Easy Pass took longer. The account was under my name, my plate, and then years ago I'd added Mom's and Mario's plates just for the beach drive. I removed every plate that wasn't mine and set the auto reload to off. I left $20 in the balance and made a note to stick the transponder back in my glove box. No more bills arriving at my place with someone else's license plate and a sticky note that said, "My bad." My thumb hovered over the messages icon. I created a new thread with Mario and Chloe and typed, "Please update your own payment methods. I've removed mine." I waited for a minute, then another. 3 dots from Chloe, then nothing. I put the phone face down and kept going. Grocery delivery. I downgraded to the individual plan. I sent Mom a separate text, neutral and short. "Heads up, I cancelled the shared grocery plan. I'll send you a referral link if you want your own." I felt the first wave of guilt rise, like muscle memory. It faded under something cleaner. This wasn't revenge. It was math and boundaries. If I'm not welcome, my wallet isn't either. At 6, I threw together a quesadilla and ate it standing up while the sun slid across my counter. My phone buzzed every few minutes. Texts from unknown numbers that were probably cousins asking what happened. A missed call from Mario that rang twice and stopped. A string of messages from Chloe in the family chat. "Are you serious?" This is dramatic. "We're handling it," I didn't answer. I washed the pan, put it back clean, and took a slow walk around my block to burn off the shake in my hands. Lakewood's evening noises helped. Bikes on the sidewalk, a dog scratching at a screen door, someone teaching a kid to parallel park with too much coaching. I breathed in and out like it was my only job. Back home, I pulled the chairs out of the hallway and lined them neatly in the front closet, the price tag still hung off the handles. I picked up the timer and checked it one more time, even though it didn't matter anymore. 21 hours and change. I turned off the countdown. By 9, my phone was vibrating on the nightstand like a trapped bee. I flipped it to Do Not Disturb and watched the little moon icon appear. I brushed my teeth, set out my clinic badge for the morning, and crawled into bed with the ceiling fan ticking overhead. At 6:40 a.m, my phone lit up with a voicemail banner from Mario. His voice was breathless, tinny through the speaker. "Call me now." By 6:41 a.m, there were already 3 voicemails. By 8, there were 27. I listened to the first 2 while my coffee maker gurgled. Mario, breathless like he jogged while calling. "Cam, call me! Call me now!" Highway noise swelled behind him, and someone, Melanie, I was pretty sure, said, "Put it on speaker." And then he hung up. The next one was a cousin I hadn't spoken to in a month. Hey, I heard the cabin got cancelled. People are freaking out. Can you just call Mario?" I set the phone flat on the counter and spooned grounds out of habit. My kettle clicked off. The room was too quiet between the messages. The third voicemail was Mario again. "This is selfish, Camilla. You're embarrassing me. We had a plan." I hit stop. My hands were steady and my stomach wasn't. A few minutes later, Mum's name flashed. I answered. "Why would you do this?" she said. No hello, her voice thin. "I'm in a parking lot and your brother is calling me from the road, and I don't know what to tell him." I swallowed. "Where are you?" "Giant Eagle," she said. A car door beeped somewhere on her end. "I was getting paper plates. I don't understand why you would cancel things." "Because I didn't agree to pay for them," I said, slow on purpose. "Mum, if I'm not welcome, my wallet isn't either." She went quiet so long, I checked the screen to see if the call dropped. "You're always welcome," she said finally, softer. "They made a plan to exclude me, and used my card anyway. I kept my voice even." "That can't happen." "We can fix it," she said, the old reflex. "We'll sort it out Sunday. Can you just—" "I can't, Mum," I said. "Not this time." After we hung up, I put my phone on Do Not Disturb and watched the little moon icon settle on the top of the screen like a lid. I made coffee. I ate toast over the sink and listened to the neighbourhood warm up, a bus braking, someone dragging a bin to the curb, the faint squeak of my upstairs neighbour's treadmill. I took the longest shower of my adult life and let the water beat on my shoulders until the mirror completely fogged. No speeches to the grout, no rehearsals, just breathing. When I picked the phone back up to leave for work, there were more voicemails stacked under the moon. I didn't listen. I slipped the phone into my bag and walked the 5 blocks to the clinic with my badge clipped to my shirt, the air already sticky. At the front desk, the morning rush swallowed me like it always does. A dad needed immunisation records for camp yesterday. A toddler's mom handed me a crumpled list of symptoms and a Ziploc of Cheerios. The printer refused to do envelopes. I posted the day's schedule on the whiteboard and returned insurance cards with a smile. My phone stayed face down in a drawer with the rattle of paper clips. I checked it at lunch because habit is hard to break. 2 texts from unknown numbers. "Hey, is it true we can't use your Netflix?" And a long one from Chloe in the family chat. "This is dramatic. You could have talked to us. We're handling it." I didn't reply. Kent's name popped up next. "Cousin Kent never texts me unless it's about fantasy football or pie. Not trying to be in the middle," he wrote, "but you should see this." Then a screenshot from a group chat I wasn't in. "Melanie. Less drama without Camilla." A heart reaction from Chloe right under it. A thumbs up from Mario. Someone had renamed the chat Lake Weekend Logistics. My face went hot and then cold. I stared at it until the screen dimmed and then locked my phone and put it back in the drawer. I answered the next call like I'd done nothing but answer calls all day. Around 3, I caught myself picturing Friday night anyway. The cabin snapped up by other families, the lake quiet under a wide sky, my brother at a front desk with fluorescent lighting and a rate sheet taped to a plastic stand. Budget motel, 40 minutes from the water, a window unit rattling, and a no pets sign Melanie would side-eye and then ignore. They'd make it work. They always did. I was just done making it easy. At 5, I walked home the long way, past the bakery with the chalkboard sign and the park where the sprinklers clicked on. The heat had finally broken. I unlocked my door, set my bag down, and opened the fridge. The chairs were still lined up in the closet like soldiers waiting for orders I wasn't giving. I turned my phone back on loud. The backlog poured in. 27 voicemails became 33. A couple were from numbers I didn't recognise. One was Mom again, calmer, asking if I could come by Sunday. I texted back, "Yes, afternoon works." Then Mario finally, but in text this time. "We're coming by, don't hide." I texted back, "Meet me at the diner on Madison, not my place." Then I put my shoes on and left before they could announce they were outside my building. The diner was the kind with a pie case and a laminated menu that stuck a little. I took a booth near the window so I could see them coming and ordered water because my mouth felt like paper. Mario walked in first, shoulders down, baseball cap in his hand. Chloe trailed behind him, eyes on the floor. Melanie came last in sunglasses, even though the sun was almost down, holding an iced latte like it was a passport. Mario slid into the seat across from me. "You didn't have to do all that," he started. No hello. "We had a plan." "You made us look dumb." I folded my hands on the table. "You used my card without asking me. You made a plan to leave me out." "That's not," he began. Melanie cut in, putting her cup down with a thunk. "We didn't want drama, Camilla." "What does that mean?" I asked. She did a little laugh like we were friends. "You know, last time. You were on everyone about Venmo in the middle of dinner, and the dog hair thing on the couch. It was a vacation, not boot camp. And you shut down the extra seltzer because it wasn't in the budget. It killed the vibe." Chloe sat quiet in the corner of the booth, picking at a napkin. "We were going to pay you back," she said finely, small. "It was just easiest to use the card we knew worked." "Easiest for who?" I asked. No one answered. A server came by with a coffee pot. "Refills?" "Please," I said, and she poured. Melanie shook her head and sipped her latte like it would save her from the conversation. I pulled my phone out, unlocked it, scrolled to one of the morning's voicemails and set it on the table. "Listen." Melanie's voice filled the tiny space between the salt shaker and the syrup bottle. "She's being a control freak about this. She's a card with a mouth. Don't answer her." The table went still. Even the server paused and then drifted away. Melanie flushed under the sunglasses and pushed them up to her hairline. "That was taken out of context." "It was a voicemail," I said. "What's the context?" Mario shook his head like he could erase the sound with movement. "You didn't have to cancel the cabin. You could have told us to pay you back before Friday." "I did that for the last cabin," I said. "I chased reimbursements for 6 weeks. Mum handed me cash in an envelope. Chloe sent me half and forgot the rest until Christmas. You said next check twice, and I ate the difference. I'm not doing that again." Chloe rubbed her forehead. "We were going to invite you," she said. "We just wanted it to be less." She trailed off, eyes flicking to Melanie. "Less me?" I said. "But my card was fine to invite?" Mario leaned back. "When you say it like that, it sounds—" "It is like that," I said. "If I'm not welcome, my wallet isn't either." For a minute, no one spoke. The diner's AC kicked on with a hum. 2 kids in a corner booth argued about whether pancakes counted as dinner, while their dad bought himself 30 seconds by studying the ketchup bottle ingredients like it held the answer to parenting. Melanie gathered her hair into a ponytail like she was about to bolt. "Look, the cabins are gone now, okay? We're figuring out a motel near the lake. This is just—" She gestured around, at the table, at me. "Messy. You made it messy." I shook my head. "You made a plan without me and used my card. You don't get to be mad that consequences arrived." Chloe finally looked up at me. "We just wanted a chill weekend." "Then cover your own costs," I said. "And don't call me names in group chats you think I'll never see." Mario blew out a breath. "Kent showed you that?" I didn't answer. He knew. My phone lit up on the table with Mum's name. I hesitated and then answered because if I didn't, she'd call the diner. "Hi, Mum," I said. Her voice came fast. "Honey, I talked to your brother. We're getting a motel by the lake. Could you at least bring the folding chairs so everyone has somewhere to sit?" I left the diner and walked home slow, letting the sticky air pull the adrenaline out of my skin. Upstairs, I opened my front closet and just stood there. Shelves and bins lined up like a supply closet at work. 2 coolers. Extension cords coiled neatly. A tackle box I turned into a first aid kit with blister pads and a dozen tiny sunscreens. The blue folding chairs leaned like blue dominoes. Half the fun other people had lived in this closet. My phone buzzed with a missed call from Mum and then a text. "Did you hear me? Can you bring the chairs to the motel?" "Mario says it's only 40 minutes from the lake." I stared at the message until the screen dimmed, then typed back, "The chairs stay with me until people can treat me like family, not a rental service." 3 dots appeared, then disappeared. No reply. I pulled one chair bag open to check the stitching like I could fix this by tightening a strap. I put it back and shut the closet door gently. 10 minutes later, Chloe lit up the sibling chat. "Did you steal the transponder?" "We got stuck in toll by plate. They took a picture of Mario's plate, and now it's going to be a whole thing." I sat on my couch and typed, steady. "It was registered to my name and my car. I paid 3 years of your tolls because you forgot. I removed everyone else's plates. You'll get a bill from the turnpike in Mario's name if he drove. Pay it." She fired back fast. "You didn't tell us." "I literally did," I wrote. "Yesterday." "Please update your own payment methods. I've removed mine." "That includes tolls." Silence then. "This is petty." "It's boundaries," I said, and put my phone face down. A knock sounded on my door 2 minutes later. I didn't move until I heard Alana's voice through the wood. "I have donuts and 0 interest in your brother. Open up." I let her in. She kicked her sandals by the mat and set down a pink bakery box like a peace offering. "What flavour fixes a family?" she asked, flipping the lid. "Old-fashioned or maple bacon?" "Old-fashioned," I said, feeling my shoulders unclench just seeing her. "Coffee. Always." While the drip machine sputtered, she sat at my counter and scanned my face. "How bad?" I cancelled a cabin and my card. They're scrambling for a motel. Mum wants my chairs. Chloe thinks I stole the turnpike. Alana laughed once, short. "You didn't steal anything. You returned stolen labour." I handed her a mug. "I don't want this to be vindictive." "It's not," she said. "It's correcting math. They made a plan without you. You get to make a plan without them." I let that sit. It fit like a sentence I'd been trying to remember all day. She gestured toward my phone. "What's your plan?" I opened the Messages app, scrolled to the bigger family thread with aunts and cousins and the occasional meme, and typed slow. "Hi all. Quick housekeeping. I'm retiring from treasurer duties. If you plan anything I attend, costs need to be split and paid up front. I won't be fronting or managing payments going forward. Happy to join when logistics are agreed in advance." I read it twice. No heat, just information. I hit send. We ate donuts over napkins and the counter got sugared. Alana told me about a dad at her work who tried to pay a bill with a gift card for a restaurant across the street. The normalcy softened my jaw. My phone vibrated. The thread lit up. "Cousin Becca. Good for you." Uncle Leo, a thumbs up. Kent. "I owe you 20 for last Thanksgiving. Then Aunt Tabitha, my mother's sister, who can diffuse a room with one eyebrow. About time. Bring your spreadsheet Sunday." I showed Alana, and we both grinned. "You going?" she asked. "I told Mum I'd come by Sunday," I said. "I think it's better to lay it out." "Take the numbers," Alana said. "Leave the chairs." We moved to the couch. The evening eased around us. My phone chimed again, Mario in the sibling chat. "We found a motel. We'll be fine." I typed back, "Great, have a good time." A beat, then Melanie's number in a separate text I didn't remember saving. We weren't trying to be mean. It just spirals when you're involved. I stared at the words until they blurred, then put the phone face down again and took another bite of donut. "Do you want me to be there Sunday?" Alana asked. I shook my head. I think I got it. We washed the coffee mugs. She hugged me tight at the door and left me with the bakery box and the quiet. I opened the closet once more before bed, not to count, just to look. These were things I bought because I like people sitting, eating, not getting sunburned. I still like that. I just don't like being invisible while doing it. I slid the chairs back, clicked off the hall light, and let the dark settle. In my bed, the phone buzzed twice. Chloe, probably, rehearsing a version where this was just a misunderstanding. I didn't check. The little moon icon went on. Sunday would come. I'd bring the spreadsheet. The chairs could stay where they were. By Sunday afternoon, the house smelled like coffee and lemon cleaner. Mum had laid out deli meat and rolls like a peace offering. Aunt Tabitha took the head of the table without asking, a legal pad in front of her like she was chairing a PTA meeting. I set my folder down and took out a thin stack of printouts. No lecturing, just paper. Mario showed up with Melanie, both quiet. Chloe slipped in last, hair in a messy bun, and went straight to the sink to wash her hands like that would delay the start. Mum hovered, smoothing a napkin that didn't need smoothing. Tabitha looked at me. You brought your spreadsheet? Simple version, I said, passing copies around. 1 page, left column, date, item, middle, who used it, right, amount, and whether I'd been reimbursed. Totals at the bottom. I pointed with my pen. This is only the last 12 months. Cabin deposit last June, balance and food run, warehouse club renewal, tolls, streaming, a couple of grocery orders when we were all at Mario's and the app was on my account. No one talked. I kept my voice even, regular volume. I'm not here about this weekend. I cancelled the reservation because my card was used without permission. That's handled. This is about the pattern. Mario scanned the sheet, jaw tight. We paid you back for most of that. You did, I said. Most. I noted where. Total out of pocket that didn't come back to me is 612 times 43. I let the number sit. That's rent money to me. It's probably not a lot to any of you individually, but over a year, it's a lot to me. Melanie made a small sound. 600 for the whole year? It's not the amount, I said. It's the assumption that it's my card, my account, my time, that it's easiest. Chloe's eyes skimmed the page. I sent you for the cabin. You sent me half, I said. In August. The rest came at Christmas when I asked again. It's all noted. Mum put a palm on the table, placating. We're not enemies here. I know, I said, meeting her eyes. But I'm done doing this in the dark. Streaming passwords are changed. Warehouse membership is cancelled. Easy Pass is back to just my car. If I attend an event, the costs get split and paid a week before. If they aren't, I don't go. Melanie straightened, defensive. You made us look ridiculous this weekend. We paid more for the motel than the cabin would have cost. People asked questions at check-in. It was humiliating. Mario rubbed his face. She's not wrong, Cam. The motel was a lot. We booked late. It was 2 rooms, and then they tacked on a dog fee. I glanced at Melanie. She didn't look away. I didn't do anything you didn't choose first, I said. You excluded me. You used my card. You renamed a chat logistics and called me a card with a mouth. The outcome is yours. The room got quiet the way rooms do when everyone is recalculating. The air conditioner clicked on and Mum took the opportunity to pass a plate of rolls down the line like a communion of carbs. Tabitha tapped her pen on the legal pad. So the question is what happens now? Camilla has made her boundary clear. No more defaulting to her card. No more chasing people. I can manage my own payments, Chloe said, voice small. I should have done that already. Mario sighed, the fight going out of him. I was trying to keep the weekend from turning into a lecture. It backfired. Melanie leaned forward. We would have paid you back for the cabin. The plan was to Venmo Friday. Then you could have booked it with your own card and Venmo'd yourself, I said. You used mine because it was saved and easy. That's the problem. Mum looked between us, eyes glossy. We do better from here. No more taking advantage, even by accident. I'm not managing anything, I said. I won't be the treasurer. If I come to something, costs are transparent, split evenly, and paid up front. No, just get it and we'll figure it out. No holding a bag of receipts at the end. Mario nodded once. Okay. I slid my finger down the total at the bottom of the sheet. As for the past year, if you want to settle up, this is what's outstanding. I'm not chasing anybody. The cabin refund will hit my card in a few days. It's not owed by any of you because the trip didn't happen on that reservation. Melanie's lips thinned. We had to tell people at the motel that our plans fell through. I told people at the rental office that the cardholder cancelled within the policy, I said. That's the end of it for me. Tabitha cleared her throat like a judge about to render a verdict. So, going forward, no more shared accounts in Camilla's name. Everyone pays their own way. If you ask for help, you respect the terms. I looked at each of them. If you want help from me again, start with an apology and Zell in advance. Then I sat back and waited. Mario rubbed his palms on his jeans, then met my eyes. I'm sorry, he said. No hedging. I'm sorry I used your card. I'm sorry I didn't include you and still expected you to pay. I'm sorry I made it your job. My phone buzzed on the table before I could answer. Zelly. Mario R. sent you 400, Maulu. He held up his own screen. That should cover my part of what's on there and some extra for the tolls I know I ignored. If it's short, tell me and I'll fix it. I nodded once. Thank you. Chloe's face went pink. She exhaled like she'd been holding her breath since Thursday and pulled out her phone. I owe you, she said, half to me, half to the spreadsheet. I owe you for the cabin from last year and the grocery orders. I should have sent it sooner. Another buzz. Zelly. Chloe R. sent you $212.40. That brings it to the total, I said, glancing at my sheet and then back up. We're square for the last year. Melanie shifted, eyes on the table, voice soft. I'm sorry you felt excluded, she started, and my spine stiffened at the phrasing. I'm sorry it blew up like this. It just would have been easier if... I tapped my phone and hit play on the voicemail from 2 days ago. Her voice spilled out, unmistakable. She's being a control freak about this. She's a card with a mouth. Don't answer her. Mum actually flinched, eyes snapping to Melanie. Melanie's cheeks flushed. I was mad. I didn't mean... Mum cut in, not loud but firm, the way she talked when she was done letting a pot boil over. Melanie, you don't get to use Camilla's card and cut her out. You don't get to call her names and then ask for her help. Melanie looked like she wanted to argue and then didn't. She picked up a roll, tore it in half, and put both pieces back on the plate. Tabitha, calm as a metronome, wrote something on her pad and underlined it. Okay, we've heard apologies. We've made a payment. Let's state the new terms so everyone knows. I kept my hands flat on the table. No more family finances in my name. No more shared accounts on my card. If I attend something, costs are clear, split evenly, and paid up front. If I'm not included, my wallet isn't either. If you ask me for help, it starts with an apology, and Zell in advance. I'm not chasing anyone. Mario nodded. I'll handle my own stuff going forward. If I plan something, I'll set up the split and deadline, or it doesn't happen. Chloe swallowed. I'm out of the let's just put it on Cam's habit. If I can't afford to go, I won't go. I'm tired of feeling like a kid at checkout. Mum slid the deli plate close to me like she could feed a solution into existence. Camilla, you don't have to be the treasurer anymore. We put that on you and kept it there because it was convenient. That stops. Thank you, I said. The relief was small and real, not fireworks, more like a door unlatched that had been stuck. Tabitha ticked each point off with her pen. For the record, she said, eyes flicking to each of us, Camilla is permanently retired from finance duties. Anyone planning an event communicates costs up front and collects payment ahead. No more borrowing her accounts. Everyone carries their own plates, literal and metaphorical. She put the pen down. Agreed? A round of soft yeses and nods moved around the table like a tide. Melanie cleared her throat. I am sorry for what I said, she offered, the words carefully spaced. I thought it would be less tense without you, managing everything. It got worse. I didn't say anything. I didn't need to. We ate a little because food was there and hands needed something to do. Mum told a short story about a cashier who gave her a free bouquet when the scanner glitched and the table loosened a notch. Kent texted me a thumbs up and a, "You okay?" from somewhere in the house, where the cousins had retreated to avoid the adult part of the afternoon. Mario handed me a small stack of cash, folded once. From Mum, he said low. She insisted on paying you back for the warehouse thing. I shook my head. She already did. It's on the sheet. I slid it back. We're not relitigating old receipts. He tucked it into his own pocket. Okay. When plates had been cleared and the edge came off the air, Chloe leaned toward me. I'm making a new chat, she said, like she was confessing. No money stuff, just plans and pictures. You in? My phone buzzed before I could respond. New chat, Reynolds and Kozev first message from Chloe. No logistics here, just schedules and food pics. Then a screenshot of a bill split from the motel that everyone in it had already paid. Little green check marks next to every name. Yeah, I said. And my mouth finally found a smile that didn't feel like a defence. I'm in. We put leftovers into mismatched Tupperware. I rinsed the knife because it was in my hand, not because anyone expected me to clean. As I dried my hands, Mum touched my elbow. Thank you for coming, she said. I'm proud of you. I don't say that enough. I heard you, I said. It was enough. On my way out, Tabitha tapped the folder under my arm. Keep that, she said. Not as a weapon, as a record. I plan to barely use it, I said. Good, she smiled. That's the point. The new chat started buzzing midweek. Chloe. Sunday barbecue at Mum's, 3 p.m. I'll handle side sign-up. Then a link from Mario. Meat plus charcoal split, $12 each. Pay by Thursday so I can shop Friday. Under it, green check marks stacked up. Kent paid. Becca paid. Even Melanie's name popped with a check. I typed, I'll bring corn salad. No one assumed I'd bring extra. 3 thumbs up and a heart landed, and that was that. Work was steady. My replacement card arrived Monday, and I spent 10 quiet minutes updating only the bills I actually own. No mystery charges, no, can you add my account again? Texts. On Wednesday, Mum texted, can I borrow 6 chairs for Sunday? I'll return them. She put a smiley face, and then, if you'd rather not, I can ask the neighbours. You can borrow them, I wrote back. It felt fine because she asked. By Sunday, the sky was a flat blue, and her backyard smelled like lighter fluid and oregano. Mario was already at the grill with tongs, focused, a little sweat on his temple. Chloe had a bowl of watermelon on the table and was unwrapping store rolls without making a production. Melanie set out paper plates and napkins and gave me a small wave. Hi, Camilla. Polite, even careful. I carried my salad to the table and Mom came out with a stack of plastic cups. Put it right here, she said, making space with her elbow. Then she glanced at my car in the driveway. Chairs? In the trunk, I said. We walked over together and I popped it. She touched the nearest bag like it was a pet. These are just borrowed, she said, voice light. She pulled a sticky note from her pocket, wrote, borrowed, not kept, love, Mum, and stuck it on the top handle. We both laughed. Noted, I said. People ate and moved chairs, and no one looked at me when someone needed ice. Kent came by with a plate and bumped my shoulder. Cover charge paid in advance, he said, nodding at the grill. Feels civilised. Almost like planning works, I said. Crazy, he deadpanned, and wandered off to steal a hot dog from Mario. Aunt Tabitha sat in the shade with a club soda and watched the flow like a satisfied foreman. When I passed her on my way inside for more forks, she lifted her can. To good boundaries, she said, and to you for enforcing them, I said. Melanie drifted over while I was slicing tomatoes. Your salad is good, she said, reaching for a piece and then thinking better of it when she saw the knife. I got my own Easy Pass this week, and I started the free trial for my own streaming. It's doable. Good, I said. I kept slicing. We didn't have to be friends. We just had to be responsible adults sharing air and food without debt. She cleared her throat. Also, I'm sorry for what I said on that voicemail. I nodded. Thanks. Outside, Mario called. Burgers ready! The table filled, plates passed. No one asked me where the spatula was. No one told me to text a code. It felt strangely quiet in my head. Chloe slid into the chair next to me with a corn cob and a guilty smile. I set up a calendar in the new chat, she said. Not for money, just birthdays and who's bringing what. If that's too much, I can delete. That's fine, I said. That's useful. Mum brought out a store cake because she likes an excuse, and we sang to nobody, laughing at ourselves mid-chorus. After cake, people started the light clean-up that happens when no one is captain. A cousin folded up a card table, Kent took out a bag of recycling, I stacked my empty bowl and rinsed it without being the dish person. Mum followed me out to the car when I went to load the chairs. "You don't have to take them today," she said. "I can keep them if you want me to." "You asked to borrow them," I said. "You can borrow them again. They just live with me." She tucked the sticky note under the strap again, like she wanted to be sure I saw it. "I get it." I believed her. On the drive home, the radio was low, and my phone stayed quiet in the cup holder. No, "Can you add me back?" Blips. No toll alerts for plates I don't drive. The new chat pinged once. Chloe posted photos. Mario concentrating at the grill, a blurry shot of Kent mid-eye roll, my salad half-eaten with a fork stuck upright like a flag. Underneath, "Thanks everyone, paid and done." I pulled into my spot and sat for a second watching a kid ride a scooter down the sidewalk, his dad shadowing him with a hand out but not touching. My rule sounded simple in my head and accurate in my bones. If I'm not welcome, my wallet isn't either. If I'm welcome, we all pay and we all show up. Inside, I slid the chairs back into their corner, still warm from the sun. I put my bowl in the dishwasher and set my clinic badge on the hook. My phone buzzed once on the counter. Aunt Tabitha. "Proud of you, Treasurer Emeritus." I smiled, turned my ringer off and went to bed without a timer, counting down anything. I slept hard, and when morning light hit the blinds, my phone was light and my house was quiet. For once, the only thing I had to manage was my own day.